Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about precious gemstones. The three most precious gemstones that are very popular. There are many precious gemstones of all sorts of kind, but we're going to focus on the three most important and recognized gemstones. First is the blue sapphire, which you can see right here. The ruby, which is a red gemstones. And then about the emerald, which is a green emerald. So what's so special about gemstone, and also how to learn more about them? Sapphire is a very precious gemstone that can be found in many places around the world. In Africa, you can find sapphire in Sri Lanka. You can find some sapphire in China, some sapphire in Australia. But each location have a very distinct character and very distinct look for the gemstones based on the geographic and geological condition that the stone is coming from. After sapphire, we have ruby, which is also from the same family as sapphire, known as corundum. Ruby also is a very precious gemstone and very rare. It's mined predominantly today in places like Mozambique. There are some in Tanzania and also some in Burma and in the Far East. Green emerald, also a very rare and very sought after gemstones, mainly mined in places like Colombia, some in Brazil, and also Zambia, which is a very large producer on emerald. And you can find deposits of emerald in some other countries, like if it's in Ethiopia, and some in Afghanistan and other remote area. But most of the emeralds today are commercially mined in Zambia, and there are very few mined that the emerald is coming from Colombia. Again, each location got a very unique character. What is very important to learn about gemstones and the precious stone, the most important factor is the actual color of the gemstone. So if you buy a blue sapphire, there are many shades and many tones to the stone. What you want to do, you want the stone to be lively and for the color to be vibrant. You can have a lot of blue sapphire that are looking blue, but they are dark and they don't have transparency and a lot of luster, which is the life within the stone. So this is quite important. You may prefer a lighter sapphire, maybe slightly darker, maybe even a darker sapphire, but you want your gemstone to be alive and to have a lot of internal play of light and not being too dark and too dull. And the same with rubies. So when you see a ruby that, let's say it's a 2 carat like the one that I'm holding here, and you see one gemstone maybe can cost you $1,000 a carat, and there are other rubies that can cost you $20,000 or $30,000 a carat. And you may figure why such a big difference. So it's very important, it is the color, how pure is the color, and also the cleanliness of the stone. Most precious gemstones, like rubies, sapphire, and emerald, are very rarely pure and clean because of the nature of the stone, especially if you're talking about 1 carat plus. In most cases, if you go for a clean ruby and a clean emerald, they will cost you even more than a diamond. In terms of hardness, just to give you some perspective, on the Mohs gauge, which is the hardness gauge that gemstone are actually measured, diamond stand at 10, being the hardest gemstone, and after that, it's sapphire and rubies at 9. They're known as corundum, which is the family for the stone. If it's red, it's a ruby. If it's blue, it's a sapphire. Sapphire also do come in all different colors. And emerald, it's slightly softer, but it's a very beautiful stone, and it's very rare and sought after. So just to give you some indication, and in the next chapter we will talk about the different origin, what do they mean for the stone, how you know if your gemstone has been treated, what type of treatment are available for gemstones that are acceptable, as long as there is a disclosure, and you will be better equipped to actually understanding why some gemstone of the same type can cost even 10, 20, or even 30 times more than another stone in the same carat weight. So if you really want to learn more, tune to the channel and we can discuss in future chapter all you want to know about gemstones, diamond, and anything jewelry. See you soon.